Hi food friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to show you how to make two fantastic recipes using potatoes and leeks. The first will be French herb meatballs, potatoes and leeks and gravy, and the second recipe will be bacon, potato, and leek soup. These are the ingredients I'll be working with: some beef bouillon concentrate, liquid form, onion powder, garlic powder, 1 pound of lean ground beef, and this was under $5. I have some perennial leeks that were given to me by a neighbor, and if you don't have leeks, you can use onion for both of the recipes I'll be showing you. I'll also be using 2 pounds of small potatoes and an onion. I cut the thick parts of the leeks, and you may notice these are small because these are actually very young leeks, and I did save some of the flowering buds and thicker stalks of the leek as well to use in this dish. Remove a few layers to remove the dirt, and you will end up with some clean shiny stalks like these. Since these are young leeks, I'll be saving the leek greens to make a soup later on. Most people throw away leek greens, but a lot of it is edible once you cook it long enough so it softens up. Let's make the meatballs for our stew. I'm starting off with a pound of ground beef, 2 slices of plain white bread, add a splash of cream, about 2 to 3 tablespoons, or you can just use water, 1 egg, and 1 tablespoon of beef bouillon concentrate. One tablespoon of onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder, and 1 tablespoon of Herbs de Provence is also added. The Herbs de Provence is going to give this meatball really great flavors. Mix this well together until everything is well and combined. I formed 7 large meatballs out of this mixture. Time to cook these meatballs. In a non-stick skillet on medium-high, add some olive oil. Place your meatballs in and brown them for a couple minutes. Then carefully flip them over. Let the other side brown for another couple minutes. And then I'm going to put them on their sides so I can try to get them brown all around. Now these are perfectly brown. It's time to add the onions and the leeks. And like I said before, if you don't have leeks, you can just add more onions. This is the vegetable component of this recipe. Now I want to remove the meatballs and let the onions and leeks brown. These look gorgeous. Now I'm going to remove these and just place them with the meatballs and get ready to make a gravy. I'm going to add a tablespoon of olive oil here and 1.5 tablespoons of white flour. Mix this really well together so it becomes a smooth paste and the flour cooks. I didn't clean the pan because the flavor is in the pan already. Add 1/2 teaspoon of tomato paste. This is going to make the gravy have a really nice color. One tablespoon of bouillon concentrate is added to this as we want the gravy to be nice and beefy. Now add some water and we'll slowly cook this into a paste, stirring constantly. And keep adding water until you end up with everything amalgamated. And your paste should look like this. Now I'm adding about 3 cups of water here, and I'm going to whisk this together so everything is melted. I add 1 heaping teaspoon of onion flakes because I want this dish to have onion flavors. Add your potatoes, and this is cooking on medium-high at this point. Now it's time to add your onions and leeks to your pot. This already smells incredible. What I want to do is cover this now and let it cook for 5 to 7 minutes. Because these are very small potatoes, they don't take very long to cook. The gravy's starting to thicken up nicely, and it's time to add our meatballs so they can finish cooking. I'll cover this and let it cook for another 5 minutes or so. Now this dish is done, you can turn the heat off. The potatoes are perfectly cooked and fork tender. The leeks are such a treat, and they're going to be nice and sweet and oniony. These meatballs are super fork tender and just gorgeous looking. Our gravy is a really nice texture, not too thick, not too thin. Time to serve this up. Get that gravy on there with the potatoes and the meatballs. And since these are rather huge meatballs, you only need about 2 per serving. Add some leeks, and this is good to go. Look how perfectly well that potato is cooked. So delicious. And these baby leeks, what a treat. Pearl onions would be a great substitute for the baby leeks. And this meatball is just scrumptious. My daughter absolutely loved this recipe, and she said the meatballs were the most tender she had. Let's make our bacon, potato, and leek soup. I have 2 pieces of cooked bacon left over from breakfast, 6 small potatoes, the leek greens, and a package of instant mashed potatoes. These are just dehydrated potato flakes with herbs and spices and seasoning. This is a great way to use boxed potatoes that you have in your pantry. You can also just use more potatoes if you don't have instant potatoes. In a deep 4-liter skillet on medium-high, I added olive oil, my leek greens, and my peeled and chopped potatoes. Leeks are in the onion family, and if you don't have leeks, you could simply just use 1 large onion. While that's cooking, I chopped bacon and I added. Bacon and potatoes smell so good together, and you really don't need a lot of bacon for this recipe. Add about 2 liters of water and lots of cracked pepper. Cracked pepper goes really great with any type of potato soup. I also add 1 heaping teaspoon of dried onion flakes, and then just bring this to a nice boil, and we're going to cover it and cook it for 7 minutes or so. After that, the potatoes have already cooked. Now I'm just going to taste a piece of the leek green, and it definitely needs cooking some more, so I'm just going to cover it and cook it for another 7 minutes or so. After that, break your potatoes down. Until it is this texture here. Add 2 more cups of water, and it's time to add our dried potato flakes in here, also known as instant mashed potatoes. Stir it till it's all dissolved into your soup mixture and taste it. Cover and cook for another 5 minutes. I added more black pepper. I didn't add much salt at all because the instant potato does have a lot of salt in it, so you can add more salt if you'd like. This is done now, and I'll turn the heat off. Even though this looks quite thin for a potato leek soup, it's only because it's piping hot. Once it cools down, it'll be much thicker, especially if stored overnight. You might even have to add some water the next day. Let's serve some up. Of course, more cracked black pepper is needed here. I do have some croutons that I made with some stale bread, and I'm just going to top it off. So this will be really filling and satisfying. And I had some crumbs left from my croutons, so I'm just going to add that into my soup. And that's actually going to give it a nice texture and thicken it up even further. And this is a super waste-free soup. Give these recipes a try and go feed yourself. Thanks for watching.